Yo, 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 what is up? What is up? It's Keen. We're back. We're in the building with another episode of The New Breed. I got a wonderful, wonderful athlete that we're about to bring up. He's from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Imhotep High School. He is one of the top defensive linemen in the country or in the state of Pennsylvania. I got Jah'Sear Whittington. Y'all invite him up. Jah'Sear, what's going on, man?
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you again for letting me interview you today. You are the top lineman in the state of Pennsylvania at Imhotep. Tell me about yourself.
I'm a class of 2024 defensive tackle. I'm going to Imhotep all 3 years. Senior year is coming up next year. I'm now committed to the University of Pittsburgh. I'll be going there for 3 or 4 years.
All right. What made you pick? What made you pick Pittsburgh?
Just the relationship that I had with the coaches, the love that they showed me when I went on my unofficial visit back in April of last year. They basically told me that I fit their defensive scheme, and the way that the coaches treated me, and like all the love that they brought towards me, I felt like home.
All right, that's definitely so. Growing up in Philadelphia, we know how the streets can be. What made you want to play football?
It definitely came from my dad. I could say that. He brought the game to me because he played football in high school as well. So at a young age, he asked me that I want to play. And me at a young age, I'm just like, man, yeah. So after like 1 or 2 years, I actually like fell in love with playing football. It was more so like me scoring touchdowns as a little kid, but I just grew more and more love for it as I grew.
Did you always play defense?
I always played both sides of the ball growing up. So like I actually started off playing linebacker in high school, and growing as I went into my sophomore season last year, my dad and my coach, they told me I should switch because I was actually just getting actually big. I thought I was like they thought I just had to lose weight. So he always told me like growing up I played every position, like every position on the field I played it. And he told me, I'm not stuck to one position. I'm a football player, so that's how I like to, acknowledge myself as a football player.
All right. Do you like the defensive side? So you like getting to the quarterback, or?
Yeah, it's actually fun. Like I feel like I'm an enforcer. I like stopping people. I like knowing that if I'm on that defensive side of the field, like nothing, anything coming my way, anything coming towards me or in my area, that it's not going anywhere.
How did they call you the general? How did that come about?
So, like just like I said, when I like if anything comes near me, like I shut it down. And I feel like, I'm a leader on my football team, and I feel like I've always been a leader growing up. So I feel like a general he commands. He leads an army. Into the battle. So that's how I feel about myself. I feel like I control the vibes. In any aspect. Whether it be the classroom. Whether it be on the field, off the field, just anything.
Got you. Most definitely. Again, I've been seeing you as you been growing up playing football because again, me and your dad went to high school together. So I've seen your growth. Definitely. So, what's your biggest inspiration? Outside of football, are you a family guy? Do you? I know you hang out with your friends. Like, what's your biggest inspiration?
Um, Honestly, my life is really revolved around football. Like without football, it's not too much that I can do. But I'll definitely, I go out with my friends. We'll definitely like go bowl and do something fun. Just to get my mind off it sometimes. I definitely, play the game. I just listen to music. But a lot of times, like in my off time, in the off season, I definitely like just work out a lot. But if I do have free time, I'll go out with my friends, stuff like that. Just still to like enjoy life. Like I don't want my life to be surrounded around football, but I do at the same time. So I do want to live my life, act like see how it feels to just be outside sometimes. So I definitely go out with my guys.
If let's just say football is not your backbone to go into the NFL on a professional level. So what's your backup plan, education wise? What do you think you're going to major in?
I definitely want to major in real estate or contracting. Those are like two fields that I've seen, up close before. So, as I grow, once I get to college, I'll definitely study that more to really know every detail about it.
All right. So again, your junior year, your senior year. This is a big up and coming year. I know you've fallen short a couple times. How important is you to finally win a championship?
It's definitely important. That goes into being legendary in the school, let alone being legendary in the state. That's one thing my coach always tells us to be legendary. And I just feel like that would be a great accomplishment because a lot of people that went through the MOTEC program like can't say that. So I would definitely feel like honored to, be a state champion. And it's just the feeling of that loss. It just doesn't feel right at all. So during this off season, now I'll get my team together, we'll talk, and I have to have a real conversation that we can't have that feeling again.
So, what sets you apart from others at your position?
I'm just a different animal. I'm just a different athlete. It's just people. Some people may be bigger than me. Some people may be faster, but I have every aspect of the game. You feel. I can play every position on the defensive line, and I have the heart to play anywhere on the defense. Honestly, obviously, I'm too big to play other positions, but it's just my mentality. I just feel like anybody lined up in front of me cannot, you can't hold me. Uh, I definitely feel like in my aspect of game, I look at everybody as in, I respect you, but you have to earn my respect at the same time. So, what separates me is everybody doesn't think like that, and everybody doesn't, work how I work, and they can't change the game the way I do.
Most definitely. Again, going back to you being a junior, and you said your dad got you in the football. Is he your biggest role model?
He actually is my biggest role model. He's the one who pushes. Without him, I don't honestly think I would be in the position I am today. It's time. It's 8 o'clock mornings. Whereas though I didn't want to wake up. He'll wake me up and say, "We're going to the gym. We're going to work out." And he taught me one valuable lesson that I remember when I was a young guy and we used to work out. There would be a couple times I used to work out in a group of people, and I remember it was one day I asked him. I think I was, I believe, like 9 or 10. I said, "Who we working out with?" And he said, "You don't have to work out with nobody because everybody is not going to be with you. When I get those offers, which I have now, which I'm blessed for, or when I'm going on to that draft stage, or you feel me, when I get all my success, those guys aren't going to be there. They might get the success with me, but not at the same time." So he said, I got to learn how to work out on my own, work out by myself, and that's something he sticks to this day.
So, what's your ultimate football goal?
My ultimate football goal is, obviously get to the NFL, but I want to be a better player than I am now. Whereas though in 2 years, 3 years, I could look back at myself now like, I should have did this and that. I want to make sure that I'm learning, being developed. When I go to college, and I'm praying that I definitely get to that big stage, which is the NFL, and I become a Hall of Famer.
What's your best trait as a player?
My best trait as a player, I would definitely say, just my mentality and my leadership. You know, your mentality is everything. So the mentality of me being like, I tell myself I'm a dog. I'm telling myself every play that the guy in front of me can't hold me. The guy can be good, he can be the best guy in the country, but I will still look at him as average because you have to earn my respect. So it's times in games where I done told myself, like you got to make this play. Like you a dog. These are the moments you're built for. And it was at those times that I made those plays, and that's just the mentality I have. Even when I'm dead tired, if a guy goes down and I have to stay in, and they're moving me around all over the defensive line, and I'm not coming out the game, I got to tell myself I'm built for this moment. I think back to the times when I was working out dead tired, laying on the ground. Like I worked for these moments right here. You feel me? Like I was dropping dead back then, so now I can stand tall.
So is there one certain athlete that you might model your game after? And if so, who would that be?
I would definitely say Aaron Donald. It's Aaron Donald. No, don't get me wrong. He's a different beast. I can't even lie about that one. But I definitely compare my. Oh, and him and Kalijah Kancey. Kalijah Kancey is entering the draft right now. He actually went to Pitt, and it's a relationship with all three of us because we're all undersized, like 6 foot, 6'1", all around that 270, 280 area. You know, we're and all like those guys are strong. I feel like I'm strong. They're quick and I'm quick. They're fast and I'm fast. And that's just where, the relationship builds. I can see myself as them.
Is Aaron Donald one of the reasons why you wanted to go to Pitt? Kind
He
of.
definitely played a big factor because, like I said, Kalijah Kancey from Pittsburgh, which he's entering the draft, he's undersized, and they, related to me that Aaron Donald was undersized also. So that just put it in my picture, I'm undersized. So they had two guys undersized that's, going to the NFL. Aaron Donald, he's probably one of the most dominant defensive linemen in the league right now. So that just shows me, that what they're doing over there with their defense and their D line coach, Coach Charlie Partridge, that he's doing a wonderful job.
So to get yourself psyched up, what do you do? Do you sit and meditate? Is there a certain song that's in your ear like that gets you that get going every day? To get you what's that song that's in your ear?
I would definitely say it would have to be either a Raw Wave song or an NBA YoungBoy song. It's just something about certain lyrics and certain songs that I like that I will replay 10 times if I really had to, that it really gets me. Or like, the flow of the song on top of the things that they're saying that I can actually relate to myself in that moment or for whatever's coming up.
Definitely. So throughout, did you always wanted to go to Imhotep, or did there's another school that drew you to you, or how did you land at Imhotep?
I have been a part of MOTEP since I was 8 years old. So my dad has a picture actually of me at their camp, their tour days, and I always been MOTEP because I always been around it. All my coaches now, they've known me since I was little, since I was scoring touchdowns on little league teams. So it was already a relationship with those guys. They actually know me. They know my dad. They're very familiar with my dad. They watched me grow up. I've been to a lot of their games, like the most legendary games that people will talk about now. It was times where I was right there front and center at those games, so I understand the atmosphere. I understand what this program consists of before I even got here. So, I went to a couple other schools and worked out, before entering high school. But it was something about when I worked out with Tech, me being familiar with all the players, the coaches, it just made me fall in love with it. So, from there all forth, I'm here now.
Um, so I know we're not there yet, but you're definitely going to be there soon. If you had to pick an NFL team, who would you play for?
If I had to pick an NFL team, who would I play for?
Like somebody of your skill, knowing I can help this team out, who would you go to?
Uh, I never really thought about this. I always say it doesn't matter to me, but for some reason, I would just stick with Philly.
Maybe that dog defensive side. So what's your highest performance in the game? Like tackles, sacks? Do you have a record for yourself?
Um, I do have a record for myself, which I do at the end of every season. I never do it in the middle of the season because I don't like to get caught up on stats. But my single game, self record is only two. I would definitely like to get that to like three or four. But I would like to do it in a very big game. That's my goal for myself. Um, my highest performed game, I think it would have to be the first round of the state playoffs against Whitehall. I had 2 sacks. I had about 5+ tackles. It's either that game or I would say the Roman Catholic game. That game, I was honest. I couldn't even like people asked me. I can't even explain what was going on. It was just so much hype around that game. I know a couple of guys over there. They were downplaying me, talking about me all year, like basically trying to say that I'm not that good. So once I got on that field with them, finally, I finally showed them like who's boss. So I would definitely say either Whitehall or for the city championship, Roman Catholic. Both of those games, I believe I had multiple TFLs, multiple tackles. Um, and I think Whitehall I had 2 sacks, and Roman I didn't. I just had more tackles than sacks.
Have you had a defensive touchdown yet? Is that something you possibly want to do
That
if
is
it
that's
came?
something that's definitely something that's on my bucket list. My partner who played next to me, he got one, and I was kind of jealous. I was more happy for him, but I was just I'm like, man, I need one. So there's a couple guys on my defensive line squad who got defensive touchdowns, and I'm definitely looking forward to one.
Especially like in a big moment, kind of how like Brandon Graham did in the Super Bowl against Brady with the
Yeah,
strip and
yeah,
get the fumble. He didn't run it in, but definitely that moment right there, that definitely I can see how important that would be. So do you have siblings?
yes. I have 3 siblings. I have 2 little sisters and 1 little brother.
So what do you instill in them? Are they your role, or are you their role model?
I actually am. My dad, he told me a couple of times, that I am a role model to them. So a lot of things that I do, they'll reflect on. Um, I'm definitely a role model because they definitely see everything I'm doing. All of them are definitely proud of me, which is, I'm always, there's a lot of times I'm arguing with them or, we play fine and stuff, or they'll be mad at me. But, they tell me sometimes how proud they are of me. My dad tells me how proud they are of me, and it definitely touches my heart because, I'm watching them grow up, and a couple of them watched me, since I was young, seeing me work out, and now to see me as the person I am now, I know they're definitely proud.
Do they play any sports as well? Like, do you kind of guide them and give them advice as well?
My little brother, he tried football for 1 year. He was actually good, but he just said it wasn't for him. So, me and my dad, we didn't force it because you can't force someone to love the game. It just has to naturally come to them. So, we just let him rock out. He's a cool little dude. So, he doesn't do nothing. He's real smart. He just like playing Roblox and stuff. So we let him do that. My little sister, my oldest little sister, she plays basketball. She works her behind off, which is actually what's the word I'm looking for? It's expected because my dad pushed me like very hard, so he's definitely gonna push her hard. She knows that he will.
Um, so what's your favorite subject in school right now? Like, what's something that really? Because I know most kids' attention. I know how high school can be. Sometimes it can be boring.
Right.
But what's one subject that's like, oh man, I actually like this?
I would definitely. So we have a class. I go. Imhotep is an African Center school, so I definitely my favorite subject is Swahili. That's a African language this is our first year learning it. And it's just I like to try new things. So as I'm learning it this year and I actually like it because some of the words are similar and some words are actually tough. But it's words though. You can just look at it and really sound it out and you'll get the gist of it. There's multiple times where I thought I was wrong saying it, thought it was like not worded different. I thought it sounded different than it was worded. But my teacher, she does a very well job of teaching us everything and what does it mean and what does it relate to, which category it is, and so that's definitely my favorite class.
Um, do you definitely feel because I must be, don't have books, lack of teachers. Do you feel after you graduate, do you feel like that Imhotep gave you the best life lessons after, for you to go forward in your, into college?
Yes, Imhotep has definitely taught me how to be a better young man. When it's times where there were times where I felt I wasn't wrong, And, there'll be facilitators, whether it be my coaches, teachers, staff members, to the security guards, even some students, they'll tell me, there's a different way to go about certain things. Even if I'm going about it the right way, there's a better way. So I would say Imhotep definitely, prepares me. Everybody thinks that Imhotep is not that smart. The teaching is bad, academics is bad, but we actually learn at Imhotep. It's all about your kid. If your kid wants to learn, then there's teachers in there that's actually going to teach. But to the kids that doesn't really want to learn, the teachers are not going to sit there and waste their time on them. They're going to invest all their time to the kids who actually want to learn about it.
Definitely. I'm gonna just leave off with last question. Definitely. What do you say to the people who doubted you, who said you're not great, you're not gonna make it out of Philly, knowing how bad Philly is? What do you say to those haters and those doubters right now that say you're not gonna do it?
Thank you. I'll definitely say thank you. It's a lot of times I have messages I wish I could find. There's screenshots of a lot of messages. It actually hurt me knowing like how hard I was grinding at the moment, how bad I wanted to, get to this point I am now. And it's people I was told that to, when, people got mad at me for something small, when people, let their anger out, people said some hurtful things. So those same people that I would tell them, like, I can't wait until I actually become the person I am now. They said some hurtful things. I got screenshots of people telling me, I'm not good, I'm overrated. I got people telling me, I said, it's cool, I'm gonna keep working, I'm gonna make it. People done told me, oh, that's if you make it, you ain't gonna make it, stuff like that. It hurt my feelings a lot. But now when I look back on it, I just smile and all I could do is thank them. Because I probably would have kept doing the same average work. The work I could have been doing could have been average. But that right there probably could have boosted me and got me to where I am today. So every hater, every doubter, every non-supportive person, I just say thank you.
Um, definitely going to be following your career. I know you got one more year left in high school. Hopefully, you can bring the championship home to Imhotep. I know you've been there twice and just couldn't get it. Hopefully, you get it done. Definitely going to be following you in your career with Pittsburgh. Definitely, thank you so much for letting me interview you today.
No
Again,
problem.
like I said, I've been following you for a while, and this is a platform where I want to get your name out. I want other people who's not in Pennsylvania, who's not in Philly, to see how good you are. And they're going to. I do. You have some merch. You got the website for your merch that you have.
Yes, I do. So I dropped it January 6th, at 8 p.m., which was a couple hours before my birthday. And my uncle, he has his own, little sports brand. Well, not even sports brand. I would just say he has his own brand. Skiing team athletics. It's very known in Philly or all over the world. So a lot of youth teams or a lot of high school teams even now, or they got their jersey sponsored by him. A lot of people get a lot of gear. Gloves, hoodies. You can get everything made. Fresh Prince Inc. They make a lot of things. If you need any type of hoodie, shirt, anything customized, any type of clothing, he could definitely do it for you. So I hit him up, and I just use my resources, and I asked him like what he thought about getting me, my own like general brand. And we talked about this months ago, and these past 2 weeks, I remember, they called me and they showed me, every little design that they had. And it was definitely emotional for me because I was like thinking, I always dreamed of having my own brand. When I see a lot of guys with their websites, like when I was actually at DeAndre Swift's, his draft party. He didn't go first round. And I remember he put a tweet out on Twitter and said, "Say no more." And from there on, he started a brand with "Say no more" on hoodies and T-shirts. And I remember I told myself, I can't wait till one day, I could do that. Have my own brand based on myself and have a lot of people support me. So, I was actually getting a haircut when my dad first sent me the link when the drop. I didn't like publicly, announce it yet, but I saw it and I was on there looking, and I was, I got emotional because it was like, dang, I always thought about this, for me to actually have my own website with my own stuff on there, that's something big for me because that's something, I dreamed about. That's something I prayed for. So, and I go back to when I first brought it up to him, and he asked me to send him a definition of what a general meant. And when, like I explained earlier in this podcast, it said, a leader of an army. So, just thinking back to that and thinking now, like, I have it up. I saw that I have a couple orders. A lot of people, showing that they order stuff. A lot of people support me. It was just like a dream come true.
Most definitely. I'm definitely going to support you. My network, our network, is definitely going to support you as well. I'm gonna make sure of it, because definitely you are a bright, talented, young African American young man want to grow up to be a great man, whether on or off the field. And again, you got my support 100%. So I'm gonna again make sure we follow you. Throughout your whole college and the rest of your high school career. And again, Jah'Sear, thank you for allowing me
You're welcome.
to interview you today. Thank you and your dad as well for
Thank you for the interview. I definitely appreciate you
all
taking the
right,
time out
Ms.
your day for me.
Jah'Sear. No problem, guys. That is Jah'Sear Whittington. Again, he is one of the best defensive linemen in the state of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia. Make sure to follow him. Go to a game and see this kid work. He works hard every day, and he's going to be the University of Pittsburgh. So look out for the name, Jah'Sear Whittington. Again, thank you. That's the end of the show, guys, and stay tuned for the Sports Empire Network for another episode. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day.